Let me welcome all of you to the Shapoorji Pallonji Car India and Bike India Awards 2020. My name is Freesia, and it truly is such an honor and such a privilege to come and join each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted to announce this evening that our unique tribute that we do to the car and bike industry has now turned 15. To kickstart our proceedings for today, I'd now like to invite onto the stage Mr. Hoshang Bilimoria, our founder and mentor, Next Gen Publishing Private Limited. Give him a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the 15th Car India and Bike India Awards. 2019 was indeed, we think, a forgettable year. The economic downturn, liquidity pressures, rural sector woes, imminent introduction of new emission norms, and a general lack of direction made the year difficult for most, if not all, players. Also, the taxation policy of our government with respect to the automobile sector continues to confound. Fuel prices ruled high for most of the year. In such a scenario, what can one hope for in 2020? Well, the bright side is BS6 kicking in from April will certainly improve emission levels from motor vehicles. After Dieselgate, diesel has suffered a lot of reputational damage throughout the world. Given the current infrastructural constraints in India, we feel that the immediate best option for the industry is to rapidly move into hybrid vehicles, whether self-charging or plug-in. We would strongly urge manufacturers to rapidly introduce their best hybrid vehicles and not merely mild hybrids. Hybrid vehicles will also help to meet tough emission norms very quickly. Yes, full electric cars have made an appearance in India, but we think their popularity will be constrained by infrastructural problems. On the other hand, electric scooters are the most likely to win popularity. Typically, scooters are used for short distances, and the current batteries can handle that fairly well. Further, as more and more electric cars make an appearance, worries over their supply chain sustainability, and ethics are likely to go mainstream. Our crystal ball, I can say that's the car group, forecasts that the future is likely to belong to hydrogen fuel cells and not electric. My congratulations in advance to all the winners. Please have a lovely evening. Thank you. I would like to now hand over the mic to Mr. Yu Dowding, Vice President of Motul, and I'd like him to say a few words.
It's my pleasure to be here for the Car India and Bike India Awards 2020. And I'm delighted to be amongst you. Motul is a privately owned French group of companies, subsidiaries in 20 countries, business in 160 countries, and a brand that's 165 years old. During that time as a specialist, we pioneered some developments in areas such as synthetic ester-based fluids, but we've always used top-level racing to prove the products, and by partnering with teams in MotoGP, Superbike, 24 Hours of Le Mans, Isle of Man TT, Super GT in Asia, and recently the Dakar Rally, to prove not only the performance of the products, but the endurance. We've been associated with Bike India, India's #1 two-wheeler magazine, since the very first issue in 2005. Such a long-standing partnership, it's been very fruitful. And it's clear that Motul and Bike India share the same target audience, people with a real passion for bikes and biking. We're extremely proud to be part of the Car India, Bike India 2020 Awards. And we'd like to thank the team from Next Gen Publishing for giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Billamoria and Mr. Dowding, for your insightful addresses and, of course, for this wonderful partnership that we're also celebrating this evening. Before we do kick off with our awards for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, let's also take a look at what went on behind the scenes, how it was for our jury, the process that they went through to choose our winners for tonight. Let's take a look.
That I really look forward to in the entire year.
We've been holding these awards now for 15 years, and the main USP of these awards is credibility.
This year we've had, as usual, a great array of cars, and I have to say that every year that I'm here, I find that the quality of the cars is just improving.
We have never ever recommended a dud car or two-wheeler in our history.
Well, it's good to see a different sort of setup this time. What we normally have is a lot of small cars and SUVs, but this time we have some electrics, as well as a hybrid and a big truck. So, as always, it's a different sort of spread. It's varied, and it's a very different take on value. So, it's an interesting lineup we have this year, and it's interesting to see how they all drive now.
I was interested in most of the SUVs. We have lots of SUVs now, and one of them is Seltos, which is really selling well, and we have Venues, and we have one electric car Kona as well. At the same time, I was also looking at a few new kind of products like Espresso and Triber, because they kind of broke this barrier, and they're kind of very different kind of products. So I was just looking at those cars so that we understand out of these many cars, which one has the capability of becoming car of the year.
When I look at judging a car, I look at it more from a driver's perspective. Obviously, for me, the way the car handles, the power of the car, the way the car rides, all that is really important to me. And I also look at what sort of safety the car offers, and it's high time that manufacturers look at this seriously. It's good to see that a lot of the manufacturers are looking at safety quite seriously.
Main criteria we keep in mind is what's the best all-round bike. What can people consider motorcycles to be both a form of transport, and you have premium motorcycles which are basically for fun. So we look for the bike of the year. We look at something that can cover both these, something that can show you a really good time, but also be practical to use on a daily basis.
I look first of all at value for money, and secondly, from the point of view of the average consumer, I look at safety, comfort within the vehicle, economy, and generally the fit and feel and finish of a car Especially now there's so much electronics. Is the dashboard easy to read or does it confuse you?
So like every year, this is also very exciting. We've got some really good cars and excellent bike lineup. So the shortlisted are the ones that I drove first, and I got an experience of what they've got to offer to evaluate them, and then I got a chance to drive the others as well.
This year we have a lot of more SUVs than sedans in the car segment, and there's a variety of motorcycles to choose from for the bike segment. And there are quite a few standout performers in both cars and bikes. Car or a bike to win the Car of the Year or the Bike of the Year award, they have to raise the bar in their own segment. And unless they do that, then they really don't make the cut. So that's probably the essence of the Car India, Bike India award.